other hand, these nationalists were humiliated. Japan had been treated as a lesser nation at the Paris Peace Conference. Their delegates had largely been ignored or treated as a joke. "To think," said Clemenceau, "that there are blonde women in the world, and we stay closed up in here with these Japanese, who are so ugly." Wanting at least equal treatment in this new international system, they tried to pass a racial equality clause in the League of Nations Covenant, but were vetoed by dominions of the British Empire, most vocally by the Australians, who saw it as an unwanted intrusion in their own governing affairs. Japan also didn't get the territorial gains it looked for, namely ownership of the Shantung province in China. Perhaps worse, the Paris Peace Conference had established a mandate system, which promised to gradually separate the empires of the world from their colonies, a prospect that had grim ramifications in the eyes of many Japanese. The island of Japan is highly dense and resource poor. That made it highly dependent on the outside world for the raw materials it needed for war, namely oil and steel. In the event of war, outside powers could withhold those materials from Japan, and the Japanese military would be paralyzed. To gain security then, and to become a dominant power, it was thought that Japan needed to become self-sufficient, and it would do that by expanding. To fulfill its potential as a nation, Japan needed more territory, not less. It needed an empire. The nationalist and internationalist ideals in Japan, until the 1920s, existed in balance with one another, a balance that existed as a conscious policy choice. But in the age of Wilson and the League of Nations, these principles became especially incompatible with one another. As a result, Japanese politics began to take swings in both directions, first towards internationalism in the 20s, and then towards nationalism in the 30s. In the 20s, Japan took part in the international community. It reduced its military and expanded its democratic institutions. But Japan had democratized quickly, perhaps too quickly. There wasn't a widespread social appreciation for democracy, and there weren't effective institutional safeguards against corruption. Corruption, therefore, was rampant, and a series of exposés informed the public about that corruption.
Bananas.
Many nationalists believed that Japan was going in the wrong direction, and some of them responded dramatically. For example, by offering a delegate returning from a disarmament conference a ceremonial dagger for committing harakiri. Assassination became a popular form of activism, which included the killing of their prime minister in 1921. The Great Depression probably moved the needle more than anything. Because Japan had so few raw materials and became so dependent on foreign trade, it was hit especially hard by the Depression. Landowning families and shopkeeping families were among the hardest hit in Japan, and the sons of those families disproportionately found work in the military. Many of their families were on the verge of starvation, and these young men, you could say understandably, blamed their internationalist status quo. Many joined secret societies in the military that had an ultranationalist bent, which radicalized these young men and drove them into a war against their own government. Political assassinations by members of these societies became rampant, and multiple coups d'etats were attempted. But the most extreme action came from a branch of the military called the Kwantung Army, a division based in Manchuria. Manchuria had long been seen as a logical base for expansion for Japan. It was large, mostly wild, and resource-dense. It also provided a strategic base for further action against China or Russia. Japan's army at the time only had limited rights to operate in Manchuria, but 2 officers in that army hatched a plan to seize the rest of it. It was a plan that would defy the wishes of their government, which meant to do it, they would act in the time-honored tradition of geikokujo, insubordination. On September 18, 1931, soldiers of the Kwantung Army blew up a stretch of railway line near the city of Mukden. It was a false flag operation blamed on Chinese bandits, which gave them excuse to begin seizing territory around the South Manchurian Railway. By morning, the Kwantung Army had seized Mukden, to the dismay of their government in Tokyo. They ordered the Kwantung Army to limit their aggression, but the army simply ignored it and continued to sweep across the rest of Manchuria. The conquest of Manchuria inspired a wave of patriotic enthusiasm around Japan and became popular across all classes of Japanese society, which forced their government to retroactively condone the occupation. China technically owned Manchuria as Japan took it, but China was weak and had its own problems and was in no position to stop it, which left the international community. China pled its case to the League of Nations, asking it to take immediate steps to prevent the further development of a situation endangering the peace of nations. The League responded by launching an investigation, which concluded that China had no plan of attacking Japanese troops or property, and that the Japanese army wasn't acting in self-defense. The League recommended to Japan that it withdraw its troops and restore Manchuria to Chinese rule, a measure that 42 nations voted for. Japan was the lone vote against. They argued that due to past conquests, they had a historical right to Manchuria. Japan will oppose any international attempt at control of Manchuria, their delegate said. It does not mean we defy you, because Manchuria belongs to us by right. The Japanese delegation walked out of the League of Nations, never to return. The crisis in Manchuria was ultimately a cause that none of the major League powers wanted to take risks over. Many empathized with Japan, or could see benefits in avoiding conflict with them and letting them keep Manchuria. For example, the British Foreign Secretary was told the following in a letter from his friend. "This, I know, sounds all wrong, perhaps immoral, when Japan is flouting the League of Nations. But she has great provocation. She must, ere long, expand somewhere. For goodness sake, let her do so there instead of Australia's way. And her presence fully established in Manchuria means a real block against Bolshevik aggression." In the end, the League voiced their disapproval, but nothing was done to change the outcome in Manchuria. In doing nothing, a principle was broken. This new international system was made to prevent wars of aggression from ever happening again. How did the taking of Manchuria square with that? If Japan could take Manchuria, and more or less get away with it, what else could happen? Many around the world took notice. Mussolini would be the next to act. Up until the 1930s, Mussolini focused his political efforts domestically. He lacked experience in foreign affairs, and was, for the time, content to leave it to the experts. But he was busy trying to convince Italians that, through fascism, they were on their way to greatness, something akin to the greatness of ancient Rome. As he declared to a crowd in Milan on the 10th anniversary of the March on Rome, "The 20th century will be the century of fascism. It will be the century of Italian power. It will be the century in which Italy will return for the third time to be the leader of human civilization." That would require some serious change in Italy's standing in the world, as it was still regarded as a somewhat lesser power, even just in Europe. Mussolini had long claimed that Italy would become a great power again by founding an empire, which meant creating Il Grande Spazio, a great imperial area. But to the north and west of Italy, all the land was taken and beyond the means of Italians to acquire. There was nothing to do, as Mussolini put it, which meant looking at land in Africa and Asia. Within that, the obvious first choice was Ethiopia. Italians had pressed into Ethiopia in the 19th century, and in a manner unique for a European power, paid dearly for it. The highland people of Ethiopia fought against the incursion, and in 1887, killed about 500 Italians. Italians responded by pressing further into Ethiopia, and war ensued, a war that Italy lost. To Italians, Ethiopia was a barbarous country, and a loss to them was a national humiliation. It seemed time to Mussolini to rectify that humiliation, and, in the same move, establish Italy's next great empire. "With Ethiopia, we have been patient for 40 years, he told the crowd the month of the invasion. Now, enough. The League had effectively done nothing about the Manchurian invasion, but this was an even more blatant challenge. Italy and Ethiopia were both members of the League, and Article 16 of the League's covenant said that if any member resorted to war against another, it would be deemed an act of war against all other members. Mussolini had one major source of relief. France was overwhelmingly preoccupied with Germany, and their foreign minister, Pierre Laval, had met with Mussolini and exchanged pledges of support. Italy said they would support France if Germany tried to take Austria, and Laval, in turn, said France was disinterested in Mussolini's ambitions in Africa. The old Allied powers also had a telling moment of weakness. Hitler had declared to the world that Germany was rearming in March 1935, an act that broke the restrictions in the Treaty of Versailles. It was an act the Allies condemned, but did nothing to stop. Perhaps here, too, they would do nothing. Mussolini tried to get assurances from Britain that they wouldn't intervene, but they instead warned him against invading. Italy was also competing for power with Germany, and when Hitler learned of Mussolini's intentions, he sent weapons and technical assistance to Ethiopia. Taking Ethiopia would be a risk, but there was a national space at home that needed to be satisfied. Italian glory, it was thought, needed to be won. On the eve of the invasion, Mussolini blamed his actions on the powers, who sat at the peace table in 1919 and withheld from Italy all but a few crumbs of the rich colonial loot. "We have waited 13 years, he said, during which time the egoism of these allies has only increased and suffocated our vitality." On October 3rd, 1935, the invasion went forward. The Ethiopians were both outnumbered and technologically outmatched. As Italy captured a town that symbolized its defeat in the prior invasion, Mussolini telegraphed, "Announcement: Reconquest Ottawa fills the soul of the Italians with pride." But Ethiopians resisted Italy more successfully than Mussolini had hoped, and Italy became involved in a drawn-out conflict. Many understood, as a general principle, that if Italy succeeded, it likely marked the beginning of a global trend. As a member of the British Parliament put it, "If one dictator cannot be stopped from attacking Abyssinia," which was a name for Ethiopia at the time, "nothing can stop another dictator from attacking Lithuania and Memel and Austria." But what could be done? The United States was still missing, and the British and French public both didn't want to fight. Those who hadn't experienced the scars of the First World War firsthand learned about it through stories and fictionalizations, like All Quiet on the Western Front. That if Italy succeeded, it likely marked the beginning of a global trend. As a member of the British Parliament put it, "If one dictator cannot be stopped from attacking Abyssinia," which was a name for Ethiopia at the time, "nothing can stop another dictator from attacking Lithuania and Memel and Austria." But what could be done? The United States was still missing, and the British and French public both didn't want to fight. Those who hadn't experienced the scars of the First World War firsthand learned about it through stories and fictionalizations, like All Quiet on the Western Front. Both cultures had strong anti-war movements and saw war as not something that should be glorified, but something that should be avoided, if at all possible. It was also unclear how Italy's relationship to Germany was going to develop, and the Western powers were afraid that taking too hard a line against Mussolini would push him into an alliance with Hitler. The League of Nations responded by imposing economic sanctions on Italy, but the sanctions were somewhat weak. As Lloyd George put it, they were elaborate arrangements to deprive Italy of those things she could do without.
Okie doke. Let's do this paper. Right, let me just check. Cool. Okay. Damn, did not. No. I don't know why you're in a spam. 16. I said no. 21st of May. It's my first paper, politics. I don't need instructions, thank you, bro. Oh, that's a great one. Hmm. One plus root 3. Minus plus 1 over 1 minus 1 plus 6. 6 over root 3, what the hell? Ah. Bro, I hate these proof questions, man. I just don't know them. Such a mid thing to learn. CV minus. Do you get plus? Yeah, that's wrong. Oh, silly idiot. Allow it. What the hell? At least 90. How range of values. Oh wait, I know what I did wrong. I definitely did that wrong. Yeah, 60. Nice. And it's above 0, so everything up there, everything up there. Should be greater than 10. So 8 should be greater than 10. Well, no one's working 0 hours. It doesn't make sense, mate. Come on. This is just a pure paper. I think it covers. Yeah, I think it's pure 2 as well. tedious. I want to learn Java for my uni subject. Where can I find free stuff to learn? No idea, bro, but I'd probably say YouTube would be my first idea. Just look up on YouTube how to learn Java. Great. Fuck knows how you do that. 4 cos theta plus 3 sin theta. 4 cos theta. No way, that's how you do it. 2 pi r squared. So you got both sides. And then how do you do the long bit? Oh, that's surface area volume. I see. So pi r squared h, so surface area is 2 pi r squared. Awesome, bro. How you doing, man? Squared 2 pi r h. Let's go, we got it. Nice. Great lad, another day of sickness for you, I presume. Indeed, my man, indeed. You know how it is. The maximum volume. Okie dokie. That should have not taken me an hour at all. This is BS, bro. What? I hate it when they do that. There's a question where you just gotta like chuck in a random thing. So they made it. That shit doesn't make any fucking sense. Cool. So we need to go over the web thing, binomial subsequences proof. Okay. Why is that spirally shit? See ya. Interesting. been my last year of high school in Australia, and even I wish these to stay productive. Good luck with your exams. I appreciate that. Good luck with your exams as well in Australia. Yeah, I was just checking them to see what they were saying, because I know they exist for maths, like predicted papers, but I don't know how accurate they are. That's my only concern. What about physics? Can't lie, I might actually have to cop these, you know. Low-key might as well cop these. It's £13, it's not deep actually when you think about it. For what that could actually be useful. But how many do you get though? Oh, pack of 3 would be kind of cold. Things that I feel like they definitely don't remake these every year. Like, they definitely just rebrand it as 2024 each time. I highly doubt they make new, like 9 new exam papers per year, because that's long to make new exam papers. They're definitely just rebranding them. Ideal for 24, 20, yeah, they definitely just renamed the date. How do you revise the GCSEs with 3 weeks until first exams when you know majority of the content? Just practice papers, bro. If you know the content, then you should be good to go to just rinse and repeat practice papers. That's all I can say. There's a lot out there, so because new specs are quite old now, so you got at least 6 papers that you can be doing. Well, actually, it's more than that, isn't it? 7 papers. Yeah, I feel like for maths it's pretty stupid to buy them. I mean, I guess it's pretty stupid in general because it just depends if like the old spec is better. Like, I never actually thought about doing this. Oh, the international is what I need to do. International A-level physics part papers. That's what I need to do, is the AQA one. Yeah. The SEVs. These are good practice. I'm gonna have to print these off at school. So, what was that? Year 1? Looks like year 1. Oh, that's year 2 actually. Fuck. It's weird, it's like year 2 and year 1 mixed. Because you got materials, then you had something on radioactivity. Yeah, paper 2 it's a weird mix. Oh, AS. Oh yeah, good shot, man. That's weird though, it did have radioactivity in it. I guess it's maybe the AS is different for international AQA. But this is still, I think, good to do because it's AQA. It's the same spec. It's just different. They'll probably be slightly easier. I think the international ones are meant to be easier. But yeah, I'm gonna have to print all of these off at school. Oh, I see. So this is the actual A-level paper. Awesome. That's good to know there's a few extra past papers to do. But these are all specimen papers. That means there must be loads of like... Wait. Just where can I find practice papers? That's the question. I'm not paying £47. It's kind of weird. I made my own flashcards. These took me a long time. Like, I'll probably sell these afterwards, you know. So I see people selling their Anki cards. But like, they are long to do. I'll probably give them out for free after my A-levels, but I'm not gonna give them out now. Cause like, can't lie, you need to make your own ones, bro. Keep it real. That's so weird. So they've got. Wait, I might have just hit a jackpot of flashcards. If there's no like login behind this, hold on, let me just try something out. Fuck, there's a login. No. Might have to ask my teachers about it. If there's a way I can get these. Exam Pros online. Schools will be given Exam Pro. Yeah, Exam Pro was. I need to actually look Exam Pro leaks. Can't lie, I actually need this. Exam Pro. Might have to. Might have to email them. Cause actually, deep, how many like questions there are? There's like like this. Like, I've got all of these papers to do here. Right. These are all publicly available from like 2017 AQA physics papers. But I've just done all of the AS papers now. Today I finished them. So I'm gonna run out of past papers if I go through all of those. So if I could get all of these, this would be fucking sick. Oh wait, so they let me go on the specimen. I'm guessing there's a wall behind. So why? So the specimen's publicly available. No, I know, that's my plan. Like, in an ideal scenario, that would be the goal. To just do every single one of these. If you need a flipping login. Let me check my school's Google Drive actually. Because my school is breaded, bro. They should have everything. Like, oh wait, what? Did not know that was happening. I have to set a paper on my birthday. Love that. Because I know my teacher has access to Exam Pro, which which is how they make these kind of things. These like revision things. Maybe it's this. No. Old. Okay, it's not good. Let's go back. Okay, so old specification, other past papers. Not all questions relevant. edX.06, good for experimental questions. You see, this just looks flipping weird, bro. edXL physics, like what? Yeah, nah, what is that, bro? Oh, that's the formula sheets, I see. These are actually a good thing to do. Bro, I actually have loads of papers to do if I really want to. Like, all of these are good. Bro, literally all of these are good. Shit, I might have to rinse these. Oh, and this is only unit 1. 2009 would say. It still looks the same, you know, same type of questions. This is actually a classic question. This is so interesting, I don't know this. Okay. So unit 2. Mechanics, materials and waves. I can't lie, I might even just print the old spec as well. This could be a great shout to do. I might print the old spec. Because, let's actually think about this. So, we've got, it's done 2017. So we've got 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. So I've got 5 sets to go through. I may as well just print these off, can't I? I'm gonna do that and then go back to school. Spend like an hour printing stuff off. I did not know that. So, unit 4. 4A, fuck. Fields and further mechanics. Yeah, see, this is where it's like, there's no point doing this. This is weird.
Interesting. I think I might have to print off a couple of these. I think that could be a good shout. And I got Monk schemes as well, that's perfect. This is actually like a treasure chest of papers. A B past papers, what does that mean? Is that not the same as what I just did? Okay. What the fuck is this? Physics keep us going. What the hell? Harmony and structure in the universe. What the fuck is this? Okay, that's not what I need. Don't tell me this will save. That's just PMT. Cool. Alright, interesting stuff. Alright, I'm gonna take a little break here. I'm just bugging out, I can't lie. I'm gonna be back with some